Good morning to those who are here. Thanks for tuning in. As Heather and I discussed, I don't have a lot this morning, and she's got about 20 minutes worth of sharing to do. So we may have a short meeting this morning, which I'm sure is just fine with everybody. So I'm going to start with what I would call a kind of a tech thing anyway. And that's the MLS. Sometimes you'll get questions about, how to use the MLS, but from our newer agents. And there's a lot of information here, a lot of programs, and if you're new, a lot of mystery. But they have a series of video trainings, which are really excellent. And the way to find them is this is your home page once you're here, and you go over here to membership and support. And it comes up here with this support page. And there's self-help here. And there's Rapatoni training of videos here under self-help. There's also under member resources, these training videos. And these are topic specific, various MLS fundamentals, coming soon versus unimproved, enter listing, enter lease listing, generate a map report, map layers, photo managers, putting expired back on the market, sold off MLS, and update your profile. So these are all very helpful. And that's just basics. And then you can go across this top line and for searching. These are all short, concise videos that help you with searching. MLS advanced things, MLS mobile, mobile app, Barris Plus, how to use realist text. I'm in that program all the time, really. How to use showing time, disclosures, and statistics. So there's a lot of short videos here. I think they're 2-3 minutes each, but they're very concise and very direct. About this showing time, I was in the Barris board meeting this morning, and they had a executive from Zillow there. And as you know, Zillow bought showing time, or you may not know, some time ago. And our use on the Barris website dropped significantly when that happened, because people say, well, Zillow owns it and they're the enemy. The reason that, according to this executive, who used to be a realtor, and then was the executive director for the Tucson Association of Realtors and for a major MLS in Florida before he went to Zillow. So he understands the industry and so forth. And he said that the reason Zillow bought Showtime was to assist in what would be a seamless process of the consumer trying to buy a house. So they want to search, and then they find something, and then they want to see it. If they go to showing time, and you as a listing agent have set showing time up as a way for people to schedule appointments to show the house, see the house, then they can go on and choose a calendar, a date and time that you entered in there as the listing agent, and you'll get prompted, you have an appointment this date with this person. Okay, well, that ends there. That goes to the listing agent, and that's all well and good. But if that same person, this is an example we had presented at the Barris board meeting, one of our brokers said, well, I got that appointment. I was a listing agent and I got the appointment. And then about 3 hours later, I got a call from an agent. Yeah, I got a cancellation of the appointment, and I got a call from the agent saying, my client, this is my client, and they want to see the property. So what had happened is that consumer had not only set an appointment, but then they went on and asked for more information. Well, as soon as you ask for more information on Zillow, what happens? They get that information and they send out it to premier agents as a lead, and the premier agents gonna fight over it until one of them claims the lead, and then that's potentially their client. So it has its limitations in terms of that showing leading to a particular client. However, it still is useful to that client. You're the listing agent, so you aren't necessarily expecting or wanting to double end the property anyway, or represent a buyer. So it's it's I think showing time, they haven't made any changes to showing time. It's still the same program that it was before, and the agents who use it really like it, so consider using it. Heather, you have any experience with showing time? Do you use it for your listings?
I do. Most often I use it. I really like it because you can set it up to either automatically approve an appointment, or have it text you, and then you can text your client if they're there. So I like that a lot. You can also block out times that it's not available. So like I had somebody that was going to have an event at their house on a Sunday, so I just made that whole day not available so they could see it. I think for me, the only downside is if I'm worried that it's not going to have a lot of activity, then when an agent goes to make an appointment, they can see all the other appointments, or the time slots that are available. And if they see that there's no other showings, right, they're going to know that it's not a lot of activity, which I don't love that. But when I think it's going to be pretty active, I love it. It really makes it easy to manage, setting up showings, coordinating with your client. You can even set it up so it directly asks your client if the time works, or you can have it just come to you and then you check in with them. So it has a lot of advantages.
Good. Okay. So anyone else, listing agent, experiencing showing time and using it? Okay. Curtis says it has worked for him in the past. About a third of his showings come from that source. And I want to remind you, if you want some hands-on training with MLS, Curtis has been a long time member and user, and is a techie guy, and he's happy to do trainings at this point to assist our agents, and that's really great of him. And so just reach out to Curtis, and if you need his contact info, why don't you type it in the your proper or your best contact information, Curtis, put it in the chat, and then people can have access to it. Okay, thanks. But he'll do trainings either via Zoom or at his home in Yountville, where he lives. Okay, regarding contracts this week, I had one come up. Let's go here. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna find my Embarrass here. What happened to? I guess I lost my my ZipForms feed, so I'll pull that up again. Sorry, but the question came up about an agent's taking a listing, and it's a home with an adjoining lot, and the seller wants to sell them together. They have two separate APNs. And her question was, how does she set up the listing? Does she do a separate listing for each parcel? And then if she were to do that, how would she account for the commissions? So let's go look at the RLA. And the simple answer is you put them both in the same listing. So, and you could even do parcels that aren't adjacent if you're listing two different parcels. You just have to identify them. So, so you're going to have the seller and you're going to have the property described as and situated in an assessor's parcel number. Now, I think this will allow you, I think, does this have a scroll over? I'm not sure. But if it doesn't allow you to put multiple parcel numbers in that particular locations, I would just say, see below, and go down and put your parcel numbers. Where's there spot in here where you could add information? Listing terms would be just as well. Listing shall include parcels, and then you just write it out there. Part shall includes parcels APN blank and APN blank. You would just list the two there, and that would take care of it. And then you don't have to worry about multiple commissions and multiple agreements and so forth. So any questions on that? Yeah, I've had agents list, like 3 properties that are in diverse locations, and you can just do it that way. You just handle it okay. Yeah, I think Curtis is saying sometimes it limits buyers to have them both combined. There may be reasons the seller doesn't want to deal with the 2 properties separately and so forth, so on. So that's their decision, and you can counsel them as your experience directs you. And if you have any questions about taking a listing with multiple properties, just let us know. The other thing that came up for us this week had to do with an addendum to a property, and we'll go over here to addendum. Addendum number 1, and so remember, the addendums are to be used when you're writing an RPA or an RLA, when you're writing up the initial agreement. So you would have this addendum, and in this case, the addendum had to do with septic work that the seller had agreed to complete. So seller shall complete septic tank installation, blah, 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 blah. And you would just kind of put that down in there. There was another thing that was in this one, seller to give tenant 60-day notice to vacate upon acceptance, blah, blah, blah. So you could put these additional terms and attach them to your RPA. The agent was concerned that this thing about the septic tank would be a red flag to the lender if the lender saw that, And I just said, well, it's not a material fact as relates to the lender. So I just wouldn't, send them the addendum. I mean, we're not supposed to defraud the lenders at all. But if that's a separate agreement regarding something else that doesn't really affect the property, that you could just send the RPA without the addendum. Now they may see that, well, what's this number, addendum number 1 attached to, the checkbox. And then, you kind of would have to go into an explanation of what that's about. And either way, I think you could get the lender on board with what's going on there. The other thing was this amendment of existing agreement. And just remember that when you already have an agreement and you're going to start modifying the terms, then you use this amendment document. Because this becomes a proposal to amend rather than an addendum. And again, we've talked about this, but this being a proposal, it's subject to everybody's approval, and it's not effective unilaterally. If you wrote an addendum at this point and the seller wrote buyer wrote an addendum and the seller said, no, I don't agree to that, I'm going to cancel the transaction. That's, our legal counsel has said an addendum used after the fact is really a counteroffer. And if the seller doesn't accept it, they have the right to cancel. So you don't want to do that. If you're already in a deal, you want to write an amendment, which is a proposal. And then if it's not agreed to, it doesn't kind of trigger a potential cancellation of the transaction. Okay. Any questions on any of that? All righty. Well, that's all I have on the contract side today, Heather. So why don't you carry on? Let me get you as a co-host. Heather's down in Anaheim, as you may have heard, that she attended the Women's Up CAR meetings this week. So she'll give us an update on that, plus a little Moxie stuff today.
Awesome. Thanks, Gary. I always so appreciate hearing the addendum versus the amendment again. It's like I've got to get it, it's good. Yeah, so like Gary said, I was just recently at Woman Up, and if any of you other women ever want to hear more about it, I would love to tell you about it. Woman Up, it was created because what they found was, I don't know the numbers exactly, but I believe about 70% of real estate agents in California are women, but only about 26% are in leadership positions. So, running a team or part of their MLS or owning a brokerage, what have you. And so it's really a place for amazing women that are doing amazing things in real estate, all come together, learn a ton, work to collaborate, all sorts of things. I happen to get a scholarship. Alicia's just asking, I saw it come up and I thought, that sounds cool. I'd love to go. Might as well throw my name in the hat, right? So it was just an application process and a little interview. So I got a scholarship. So the cost of it was paid, which was really, a huge help. And then now I'm down in Anaheim. One of the fun things that happened at Woman Up, I mean, there was a lot of just really inspirational stories, women, just talking about their experiences on stage, keynote speakers and things that were very inspiring. A lot about embracing diversity in our, in our profession, whether it's people of color. There was the president of the LGBTQ Real Estate Alliance was there talking about, supporting, California, we've got it really good, but like she lives in Texas and things are really rough there. So it's just a lot of really great people talking about their experiences and how we can all join together and help impact our profession in a positive way. Always encouraging diversity and encouraging other women to be great as well. One of the fun things that happened there, let me share my screen with you. If you guys have been paying attention to the news, Sherry Chris has stepped back from being the Better Homes and Gardens president. And she's now, I forget what her title is, but she's with a consultant, basically, I believe, with Anywhere Real Estate. So she's still super involved, but she's not our direct president. And so at the meeting, she actually announced the new president of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate here is Ginger Wilcox. She is such a sweet person, and really I'm excited because I think she's gonna, you know, bring some new great energy, and she really kind of has an eye on what Better Homes and Gardens, what we need, and giving support to Gary and Randy and all that sort of stuff. So that was fun to hear that announcement and get to know her a little bit. Another thing that's coming up, oh, I don't have it up here, but I'll bring that up in a second. Another thing that's coming up, if you like going to conferences or you want to learn, in September is the CAR puts on every year the Reimagine conference, and it is free. Obviously, you have to get a place to stay. It's in Anaheim in September. It's a great place to take classes, meet other agents, find referral agents. You know, I'm getting to know a lot of agents out of area and have personal connections with people that I can refer business to out of area and will refer business to me. So it's a great place for those sort of things. That's September 19th and 20th. I'll be down there anyways for the CAR meetings. So if anybody wants to come down there, let me know. It'd be great to get carpool or get shared rooms, those sort of things. So anyways, those are the two big conferences. And then I wanted to just go into Moxie a little bit today, just to remind you of one thing. Anybody have any questions about Woman Up or the Reimagine conference that's coming up? Nope. All right. So just a reminder, we do have access. There was actually at Woman Up, there was a Moxie Works representative there, and so I talked to her quite a bit because we've been having a few challenges. Like mine kept disconnecting from Barris, so I've got somebody directly I'm going to call when I have trouble. So and I'm going to connect her to Haley too. So if you're having any trouble with Moxie ever, talk to Haley mainly. She's been our one that's been able to troubleshoot and help with that. But I just wanted to remind you a couple of the things that are available on Moxie. You access Moxie Works through the greenhouse. So you first log into greenhouse and then you go into tools. Actually, I probably have that if you guys want to see it. You go to tools and then one of the options is Moxie Works. Moxie Works does have 4 main sites here for us to use. Moxie Present is for CMAs. It's a really pretty CMA package. Moxie Engage is a CRM. I'm going to be doing a class next week in Sonoma on Moxie Engage on the 20th. So if anybody wants to dive into that a little bit, come to Sonoma. And then there's obviously how you get your website set up. And then today I'm going to go over Moxie Impress just to remind you all of Moxie Impress. Moxie Impress has some ready-made marketing materials for you and your listings. Anytime you have a new listing at Better Homes and Gardens, you will get an email with a already made marketing kit that is going to be automatically made from Moxie Impress. If you don't get that within a few days of your listing going live, reach out to Haley and she'll be able to make sure. Sometimes there's a little glitch on the back end, but she can click a button and change it over so that you'll get access to it. You can always go in and make your own as well, and I'll show you how to do that. Moxie Impress, let me just show you what it gives you. There's several different marketing packages you can do, but it does give you things like a single property website. It gives you, you can set up a virtual tour. It does a video. It takes your still photos, right, and turns it into a video. So it's really nice for marketing. You can attach it to the MLS. You can put it on social media. You can send it out. with a flyer or what have you. It also does just still social media posts for Instagram, Facebook, and what have you. It does flyers if you ever need a flyer and for some, for whatever reason you need it quicker than Haley can get it back to you, or Kylie, then you can always pop in and do that. So it's got a lot of great things, like, for instance, let me just pull one up here so you can take a peek, and then I'll show you a little bit. So this is an old listing I had. You can see here it automatically made all of these things for me. So it automatically made a single property website. You can go in and preview. So if you want to tell your clients, your listing, hey, I'll have a dedicated website for you, it's great because it takes your photos and it just makes you a great little website with everything there on it. And it has a lovely Expect Better video and all of your contact info. I didn't do any of this. This was all just done automatically in the Moxie Impress. So it's pretty handy, really quick and easy to use. So I'll go over all of that in a minute. When you first come into Moxie Impress, I recommend up here on the right-hand side, you check in with your information up here to make sure it's all accurate and the way you want it. So what you do is you just come over by your photo and your name, you click on that, and there's some things you can change in here. Some things are have to be changed in Dash, so Haley has to change it, but if you see something you want changed, just send her an email and she can change that for you. So you can come into your profile and you can see everything that's grayed out. I can't change my name. I'd have to send Haley an email, but several things are. So if I'm going to add a designation, or if I see anything, if I want to add something that's not grayed out, you just type it in and hit save. If there is something here, like I'm like, oh, I don't use that Facebook URL anymore, I'm just going to send Haley an email and let her know. And she can update it for you in Dash, and then it'll automatically be correct on all the different Better Homes sites. Also here, you can check on your business info, make sure the address is correct. You can add in a personal logo if you want. So it obviously will always have your Better Homes logo, but if you also have your own personal logo, you can add that in here. You just click on it and upload it from your site or from your computer. Make sure you hit save. I did this earlier. Obviously I didn't hit save because it's not there. And then you can also you can manage photos from here. So if you upload any photos, you can do that from here. And then account settings, oops. This one's kind of handy. Account settings allows you to, anytime you're going to share a project, it'll actually shorten the URL for you, right? So most of these, like that website, it's like a 50-character URL. Well, if you click and change it to yes, then it's going to give you a shorter URL, one of those little, little quick, like the bit.ly ones. So that's something you might want to consider doing. And again, make sure you click save to make sure that happens. Let's see, what else do I want to show you? Let's just go back to home. So this is where you're going to start off when you come in. Like I said, you're going to automatically be getting a marketing package when you have a new listing. But there's a few things that you can do without that, or if for some reason you haven't gotten it, that you can do it. Right here, you can create a brand new project. So if you have a listing and there was something that wasn't in that marketing package, because there are a ton of options, right? You can do brochures, you can do different flyers or postcards. All of them don't come in the marketing package. I think there's like 12 items that come in the automated marketing package, but you can add things as well. You can also, so say you started off with, a new listing, the marketing package will say that, right? New listing, and then later you're doing a price reduction. So you can go in and change it to price reduction. You can also edit your existing projects. And then I'm going to go here, click on projects. This will show you what's already been created. Oops, there it goes. Some of these, I don't even know what they are, probably samples I did, but these are where you would access. So if you know you've already got your marketing package, you can come here and you can look at the different projects. You can see there was 9 things created here at the beginning of the year. So, and then you just click on that to access those. Now, if you, a great thing I love about Moxie Impress is that I can go in, and if I'm going to do an open house for another agent, I can go in and create a social media post with their images, with their information, and my branding. And so obviously, if I'm doing an open house, that agent is giving me permission to use that property's marketing things, right? And they want me to market for that open house. So if you're going to do that, you just come up here to listings. And why? Oh, this is my listings. Okay. Over on the left-hand side, you can see is shared, view shared listings. So you click on that, and then that gives you access to all of the listings. There's 14 pages for Wine Country Group. So what you can do then is you can either search by MLS or address. So say I know it's in Sonoma. So I'm gonna click on Sonoma or add in Sonoma, and then I can see, okay, here's all the properties in Sonoma, and say I am doing an open house on 4th Street. I can click on that, and let's see, is there no photo for that one? I don't know what this property is, but 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Anyways, say I'm going to be doing an open house for this property. Then all you have to do, you open up the property, and then you go over here to create marketing kit. You click on that. It's going to give you what type of marketing kit you want. So here's an open house marketing kit. This is where I typically use it or encourage agents to use it, is when they're going to do an open house for me, right? I open up open house. It's going to give you 5 marketing items. You just select that. It's going to load up all the data, which is the photos and all the information. I'll take it a minute here. And then I'm going to have, for this other agent's listing, which I have permission to use because I'm doing an open house for them, right? I'm not going to just go in and do random things, but I now have 5 marketing pieces. So let's take a look at this Instagram. I have a pre-made or automatically made, automated Instagram post for this lovely listing with my, oh, it doesn't have my contact info on it. The other pieces do, like the flyer and things. So for some reason, but this is great, right? I can print this up, or I can save it and then post it on my social media. Let me look at, go back to this one. So for instance, say I'm going to do a flyer. I don't find out until 5 p.m. on Friday. I'm going to do an open house for someone. So Haley's already off work. I can go in here and make this, usually we have Haley do it, but if for some reason you need it in a time when she's not able to do it for you, I can go in here, I can print up this flyer with my contact info for the open house I'm going to be doing this weekend. So it's a pretty quick and easy, nice thing, a great something that you can do when you're going to be doing an open house. Another way I've used Moxie Impress is I will go in and create a new project. So if I drive by, if I have a listing appointment, I've driven by the house, taken a photo, and then I use that photo and go ahead and create marketing materials and take them with me to the listing. So you can just go in to create a new project. And let's see, I haven't done this in a while. So say I want to create a flyer. Let's see, is this how I do it? Sorry, I haven't done this in a while. So here's a bunch of different flyers I could choose from. That's new construction, which is not what I'm doing, obviously, but I can choose this design, and then I can upload a photo and go ahead and create one from scratch. So I've done this, and I've taken a flyer and I've taken a social media post with a photo of the house that I'm working on getting the listings, that I'm planning on getting the listing. I take that with me and show, oh, these are some of the great marketing that we do for you. And I've gotten listings because of it. So it's kind of a fun way. Obviously, you don't have a full set of photos, but at least you can take one and it gives them an idea of what our flyers look like, you know, and our marketing looks like. So I think that's pretty much Moxie Impress. The only other thing I was going to show you guys was the video. Did I show you a video already? Let me go in. Let's go to Bristlecone. That one in there. It's pretty nice video that it gives you because it just takes, oh, here it is. It just takes your still photos, but it makes a pretty great little video. And, you know, they talk about how much more video gets, you know, gets views and gets noticed than still photos. So it just uses the still photos and kind of pans through. It brings in the different shots. Sorry if I'm blocking you guys. So I think it doesn't really, I mean, this was just completely done automatically. I didn't have anything to do with it. So it's pretty, I think it's pretty great.
Does it have music or anything?
It's a great question. I think it does. I don't know why we can't hear it. Oh, I probably didn't click the share sound, but it does have music.
Okay. Yeah, great, good.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions or any thoughts about that? All right, I encourage you to play around with Moxie. If you want to work on Engage, come on Tuesday, and we will dive into that CRM. And otherwise, that's all I got.
That's at 11 o'clock, right?
Yes, 11 o'clock on Tuesday in Sonoma.
Okay, and we'll get the owl and we'll record that too, so we have that training.
Oh, okay.
We'll need to get maybe you can bring the owl over from wherever it is. I don't know where it is. I think they had it in Petaluma last. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll look into it.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Just a couple thoughts about that. Remember, our code of ethics doesn't allow either us to do open houses for other brokers' properties or for other brokers' agents to do open houses for our listings. So Heather can do them obviously for one of our other listings, and many of you, particularly newer agents, will do open houses for agents who have multiple listings or can't make an open house and they'll offer it to a newer agent. Be sure to ask. If you're out viewing new listings and you want to hold it open, be sure to ask the listing agent, hey, is there time I can hold the house open? And if the listing agent would say, well, I'm going to do it Saturday and Sunday. Well, can I do it Friday night? Just be creative and then get your shot at doing an open house. The forms release, the June forms release, I think is coming a week from today on the 23rd. And I don't know what time of day, whether we'll have that already to address in our training next Friday or not. But if it's not released in time to address there, we'll address it shortly. And I'm sure Broker Risk Management will be issuing a publication, a weekly practice tip on the form updates, probably a few, because I understand there's like only 3 or 4 new forms, but there are like 60 changes to the other forms. So there's a lot of changes going on. And then Norbar is also having a session, legal update with the Norbar attorney. You want to, the dates and times of that, Heather?
I do. Let's see.
I think it's June 30th, maybe.
I have it in my calendar.
Yeah. And if you go on, okay, it's June 27th. Tuesday noon. It's a Norbar legal update. You can log on to your Norbar website and under training, and you can register for that. And you can do it either virtually or in person up at the Norbar offices. So that'll give you a second look and an in-depth look at the forms changes for June of this year. Okay, so that's what we got for you this week. Any questions?
There also is on the 29th is the ethics course at Norbar, which, you know, you have to take the ethics once in every 3-year period. So most people are needed again. And I've heard, I think it's Lee Brown is doing it. And I've heard she's like the best and most entertaining and makes it not boring. So
Okay.
and you can also either go to the Norbar offices or watch it in Zoom, but you do have to sign up for it. So go to the Norbar website to do so.
Okay. Well, everybody have a good weekend and a good week ahead, and we'll catch up with you next week. Take care. Thanks, Heather.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.